Hello, people on the internet watching videos that have to do with cars. Welcome to this, my 2021 Ford Bronco Black Diamond, aka Pokey Horse. I've now owned this Bronco since brand new for exactly 3 years, and I know a lot of you are wondering how unreliable or reliable it has been, what has failed on it, what hasn't, and I got some work I want to knock out, so we're gonna kill 2 rocks with 1 chicken. One of the number one things I see in the comment section from those of you that watch my car reviews is a lot of people comment that new cars are less reliable and not made as well as they used to be. And you'll see tons of videos on the internet about scandals and recalls and just problems with lots of new vehicles. And as someone that purchased their first new vehicle back in 2004, which was a Subaru WRX oddly enough, the answer to that comment or question is it's both. Cars have always been problematic and riddled with issues, but the difference today versus in the past is now any boob with a camera and an internet connection can upload a video trying to scare the crap out of people into thinking that their brand new car is going to explode and be worth $2 the second they drive it off the lot, because that person will then in turn make a bunch of money in ad revenue, and before it was just journalists that could do that with magazines or articles. And also, yes, cars are far more complicated than they ever have been, and that creates for more issues to arise in vehicles, which is why the saying to avoid first model years is still true to this day and is usually a good rule of thumb. And yes, I did buy the first model year of this Bronco. I realize that. Now that it's clean, I can actually work on it. You didn't think I was just gonna make a video blabbing in front of a camera about my vehicle, did you? I got work I gotta do. I've had this package sitting over here for about 6 months now, waiting to put it on. Now this is not sponsored. I bought this for the Bronco. Oh, neat. Okay, disassemble.
Reassemble.
Huh? This, I will say, has to be one of the easiest vehicles I own to work on. After 3 years of driving this thing in a desert region, I expected it to be grosser than that. It's not too bad. I wonder how many of you saw this one coming. You didn't actually think I was going to install stuff and not clean around that area, did you? Now you're starting to see why I made my own periodic table of cleanaments for Robo Bubble. I'll admit it's a tad bit premature to change this air filter right now, but I decided to upgrade it because who doesn't love good sucking sounds? New. Improved. There we go. That's why I went with the Roush kit, because it's OEM Plus. Bolts right into the factory air box. Nothing fits better than OE. I will always argue that. Weather stripping. All right. This also came with a pre-filter that goes over the air filter element. Start these by hand because I'm not a savage. And I didn't put it on in this video, but I changed my mind and actually installed it after I was finished filming. I can't put that on like that. Because this is an oiled type air filter and I live in a desert environment, I think using the pre-filter just makes a lot more sense because it's easier to clean. Perfect. Clean this. Oh, it's actually a piece of metal. That's sick. Now, as far as mechanically speaking, I've had absolutely 0 issues over the past 3 years of driving this, and as many of you already know, I do have the Ford Performance Tune on here, which bumps the horsepower up to 330 and the torque up to 385 at the flywheel. In addition to the fact that I installed this Nuke Performance oil catch can that I made my own custom bracket mount for. Now these have a recommended oil change interval of 10,000 miles. However, that interval is recommended to you by the same people that will be selling you a new vehicle when yours fails because you treated it like an appliance. What does this sound like now? Those pops you hear is from the AFR getting leaned out a bit, which means this definitely did add some airflow, so I'll be resetting my map on the tune to make sure that it relearns quicker. So I have changed the oil on this thing every 3,000 miles with high quality, top end, high performance synthetic motor oil. And that I attribute to why this thing hasn't really given me any problems, except for this. If you recall, when these things first launched, there was massive issues with the hard top quality. And that's actually what caused an 11-month delay on me actually getting mine when I ordered it, and probably a lot of you that own them that are watching right now too. And despite my hardtop being one of the new improved ones from Webastico, the company that manufactures these, it's already failing. If you look right here, that is a crack. And these are made out of a composite fiber material. It's almost like a cardboard honeycomb with this vinyl-like surface on top of it. It's supposed to breathe, technically. And it's not just isolated to the rear, it's happening up here on the front panels as well. You can really get a good look at it from this angle. This entire area right here is a giant raised bubble. You can see over here, some more, it looks like moisture got underneath there, and it's who knows what's festering and growing underneath that. And it's clearly not from sitting out in the sun, because this thing spends most of its life in the garage, and when it's outdoor, it is covered. Now, because I'm not one of those doom and gloom car review channels that blows things out of proportion when there's any little issue with the vehicle, it's just something that happens when you buy first model year vehicles. I am excited for this. This is a big ass box. And because of the fact that technically I have about 5 weeks left on my warranty, in this video I'm going to take it to the Ford dealership where I bought it and try to warranty claim that top and see what they say. In the meantime, more upgrades. Tech data. This is also not sponsored. I bought this because music is good. Another thing I strongly suggest people consider when purchasing a new vehicle is that if you're willing to spend that much money, it's worth waiting to order the vehicle in the spec that you want, so you don't pay for options that you're not necessarily going to use. These instructions are for a 4-door. I don't have a off-road minivan, so all I need to know is that this panel has to come out. This is huge. Oh, I see how these pop clips work. It's supposed to be like a new design for little plastic pop clips. You'll notice my Bronco does not have the fake dummy subwoofer on the back of this panel because it's an early build model. The later build Broncos have a fake subwoofer in place of where the real one would go on the upgraded sound package. It might also be a 2-door thing, but I think it's because I literally ordered this thing the week they allowed people to start making orders on the Bronco when it first debuted. Hardware, Loctite, panel nuts. Add a little bit of foam around that. There are 2 things that will cause unwanted noise. Nice. The edges of panels squeaking and rubbing together. It's a really good thing I had this foam because this kit didn't come with it and it was supposed to. And larger sheet metal surfaces flexing and wobbling as the bass hits. Custom anti-vibration pads. I know some of you are gonna say I should add about 500 pounds of sound deadening in here, but no. Bag of robot snacks. Hey, it's made in USA. Sweet. Ouch, that was my toe. I'm fairly confident when I'm done with this, it won't be a rattle trap. Oh, I'm gonna lose my cubby, sad. I don't know, I need a really fat bit for that. Now, while I said I had no mechanical issues with this thing since I purchased it, I did have an electrical issue. Gotta shave that down. And that was the fuel tank pressure sensor went out. And because I don't like other people working on my vehicles, perfect, I just ordered the sensor to replace it myself rather than bringing it into the dealer. I don't know why this is in 2 pieces. Weird. Which I know seems crazy because it would be under warranty. T20 Torx bits. Being mechanically inclined and having a shop obviously is a massive factor, and that's probably not reasonable for most people. But again, it's just a personal preference, and I feel no one is going to do better work than the person that is paying for the vehicle. That's what's up. Looks just like an OEM piece. Fits perfect too. I love the fitment of this. So now, in this extra little space over here is where the amplifier will get mounted. Unfortunately, this is designed to just reinstall a factory Bang & Olufsen amplifier, which I don't have, so custom. Measure 4 times, cut 3 times. In case you're wondering, I pulled this design entirely out of my ass, along with a penguin. Long story. If you've made it this far into the video and you're still watching, your reward is I have made a new Spotify playlist based on this video for all of you to enjoy. It's totally free. I get nothing out of it other than the pure enjoyment of making a playlist for you guys. So enjoy. This will space it out away from the subwoofer a little bit, which will create an air gap and should help with heat. Put a little bit of foam on the top, a little foam on the bottom, strip in the middle. There we go. Loctite on there. If there's one thing I could recommend to any of you watching, if you're gonna buy a vehicle like this or any truck, lower trim grades are the way to go. This Black Diamond was essentially a bare bones base model of steelies and vinyl floors, but with all the off-road goods. And just like that, in the 63 Bobs in the comments section, one of them is your uncle. Whoa, this smells like... It smells like if a robot went on a holiday and put lotion on so it wouldn't get a burn. Accent color, accent color, accent color. I may or may not have done that on purpose. All of it, even if you don't see it. Preamp outputs, why does this smell so good in a weird, not good for you way? Ah, there's a ground stud right here. Doesn't get any better than that. Tessa tape, just like the factory. Now, while I have been a fan of Bang & Olufsen sound systems in other Ford models I've reviewed in the past, in the Broncos, not so much. All the wires get Tessa tape, just like the factory, and they get routed with the factory loom. There, nice and clean, just like OEM. This right here is a remote accessory so I can control the amount of bass from up front without having to go to the amp beyond the panel. How the hell is it 5 o'clock? I've been doing this for 8 hours? It's pretty clean, OE looking. Oh jeez. Welcome to the following day. These are kind of awkward. Oh, there, I got some more light in here now, I can see. And that goes into the MIDI fuse. The final step to finish installing a subwoofer in this thing, since I have the base model head unit, is the line out converter, because this doesn't have preamp outputs or a remote turn on signal. But I'm waiting on the UPS truck. So, when I first bought this thing, you recall I ceramic coated everything, including the frame and the suspension. And while, yes, I do own my own detailing product company, no, I do not have any waxes or sealants or polishes available. I am testing formulas, and if I can be successful enough with the products I have, I will eventually launch more. I do routinely use this Bronco as a camera support vehicle for filming off-road reviews, but I never put it away dirty. And it has never once been through a touch car wash. I always wash it myself at the shop with a foam cannon in a 2-bucket method. So there are very little, if any, defects in the paint that need to be corrected because of the fact that I ceramic coated this thing when it was brand new. My package arrived, perfect timing because ceramic coating stinks, so I'm gonna do that before I leave tonight. Aha! Easy plug and play. Also not sponsored, line out converter. LOC Pro. Oh, that's on a swivel. That is brilliant. Grab it from the bottom maybe? Yeah, that's why. According to the tech data, this kit is super easy to wire up. So I got my 12 volt, my ground, my remote out going to turn on the amplifier, my RCA outputs, and then the signal from 2 of the speaker channels. So I disconnect this, front channel, connect this, power, ground. The line out converter smells good in a robot kind of way. How do you open this thing? The line out converter is essentially the size of a robot Pop-Tart, I just noticed. Oh, it's a don't eat packets. It would be nice to put it right back there, but I mean, that sits like that. I don't like the idea of sticking this back here because there's nothing to secure it to. And also, these are vents for heat. Before I make this permanent, I'm just gonna test it because that makes the most sense. I don't think the amp is turned on. Ah, I got the amp on. After 30 minutes of contributing to my already hearing loss issues from working around aircraft my entire life, so I adjusted the amp, the line out converter, and it's all good. To extend the wires, I'm using the heat shrink solder core connectors with matching wire colors to correspond to what's already plugged in. Wrap this harness in Tessa tape so it's not noisy. Here, another F-35 coming. Route this stuff. Well, I found a perfect place to mount it. There's a room up above the glove box behind here. Problem is I'm gonna have to design a bracket, which I'm not doing in this video. I don't have enough time. I gotta see if I can get some RCA heads so I can cut the excess RCA cables. But essentially, once I manufacture my little brackets, it'll look like this. Up, behind here. For now, I put some foam pads on the backside, so that way it doesn't rattle around in my glove box. That little bundle is the kick panel wires, routed just like factory. Back in 2020, when I ordered this Bronco, the whole purpose behind it was to have a nice, easy build series so I could do bolt-on upgrades on something that would be highly searchable, a lot of you might own. But then I woke up and chose violence and tried stuffing my dad's Toyota Tundra V8 into a 74 Celica. I guess it just goes to show some of us intentionally try to struggle with life. Yeah, the stereo is complete. The last thing I'm gonna try to knock out tonight, this is like a 15-hour day, is ceramic coat. Water-based wax and grease remover. Just make sure there's no wax on the paint surface. This is the same ceramic coating that I did on this thing 3 years ago, and it held up pretty good. It started to get a little bit of water spots towards the end, but all in all, it did a good job. I'm trying really hard to knock all this work out in one video because I don't have free time since I work 7 days a week making videos for you guys, and I don't think you want to watch 2 videos in a row on the Bronco, so I just gotta work my ass off. Yeah, there's 0 swirls, 0 water spots. I'll put the ceramic on. Typically this stuff is only designed to last 1 year to 1.5 years tops, and when you apply it, you have to let it sit till it starts to get an oil slick look to it. Level it out. And then you just wipe it with a microfiber to level it out, or else it'll look like you painted your vehicle with robot splooge. Wow, it looks fire. If there's one big piece of advice I can give to everyone watching this video right now, regardless of what type of car you have, regardless of how much money you paid for it, take care of it. Not saying lemons don't exist, but mechanical sympathy and also making critical upgrades to areas that are known weak points will drastically make a vehicle last a lot longer. It's the following morning, and I'm headed to the Ford dealership, see what they're gonna say about this top. Just like that, it's over. I didn't film any of it because it is private property and sticking cameras in people's faces is rude. But it went well, and I talked to the service manager and they documented everything, and they're gonna send it up to Ford. Took pictures of the top, all the cracks everywhere up there in the bubbles, to see if it gets approved for the warranty claim. So I just gotta sit and wait, probably for a week, I'm guessing. I don't know when the next time I'm gonna get to work on this thing. So somewhere in this abyss of a shop, I have this. Rubber walnuts. Okay. So this goes inside there. Oh, so much nicer. This is gonna come in super handy now. These are little things to mount accessories to it, which I'll conveniently stow down inside here. I don't think it'll be a rattle trap either. You can attach like an IFAK kit to it, or some snacks, or pew pew ammo, whatever you want. The subwoofer looks nice and factory clean, good to go. So with that said, I will let you know about the hardtop. Hopefully that gets warrantied, and yeah, the next video I'll get back to work on the Celica. And as far as the Bronco goes, it's been a good daily driver. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye.